Hello, everyone. This is your protector, Grover Cleveland, with a message of hope. You can follow Ryan O'Connor at Wrangleshank on Instagram and Twitter. Don't overthink it. Just click the link in the description.
It's time for Ink the Book Show with your host, Ryan O'Connor. And now, let's ink the book. Oh, the camera works because I had a new one overnighted. And I'm already getting bots in the chat. Anyway, yeah, my camera, shorted out or something. I think it was like the wires in the back ended up fraying or something. But at first, my camera was blurry. And then what? What happened? So many wrong things happened. I left the broadcast up. I just retitled it. And it's a fiasco. And then it goes just black, dead air for a few minutes, like maybe 5 minutes or something. And then you just hear me talking again, I think. Maybe I come back on camera for a minute. And then the camera just goes away. And I just ended the stream. It was nothing but problems last night. For 14 minutes straight, it's just this terrible mess. Terrible attempt at a show. But I thought it was kind of funny anyway, so I left it up. So you can watch that if you're interested. Anyway, let's get to what I was trying to do last night. My name is Ryan O'Connor. I'm a starving artist. I'm making my first graphic novel called Bonehead. It's a 230-page story about a little skeleton guy who works at a poison factory. And I'm trying to ink pages every day right here on YouTube, Twitch. If you go to the YouTube channel at Wrangleshank, or I don't know if the @ is relevant there. If you go to Wrangleshank on YouTube or Ink the Book Show on YouTube, you'll find me inking every page way back to the front cover. So there's that. All right, let's get to the art. This page has been trying to be finished for days now, and it's killing me. I love it, though. Oh, look at that. That's not a comic. That's my sketchbook. That's right. I colored that last night. I colored this. I inked and colored this chupacabra as well last night. Baby. Old man with a mustache. Some kind of terrible sketch of a bird. That's what we're doing here. Let's get some light on this page. I love how it is in focus and not melting down before our very eyes. I'm not having a conniption fit. No, I don't think I was freaking out. Very very evidently, I think I was trying to keep my cool. Probably. I don't know. I certainly didn't know my camera was in the process of dying. at the time. I thought it was my computer. I'm debating if I want to add. Okay, I'm just going to leave it. Darn it. So I had this new camera. This is actually the camera I meant to buy in the first place. The Logitech C22. And through no fault of Amazon, what I got last time was it was a Nexigo something or other. Nexigo, which is not a brand I'd ever heard of, but that's the one I clicked. I was like, they sent me the wrong camera. The fools! And I looked. I was like, nope, that was me. But this time I got the camera I originally intended. So, you know, what is it? One door shuts, another one opens. Or something like that. Just gonna leave a highlight on there for some reason. I don't think that means it. Okay. It's a better quality camera. One thing that's bugging me about it is the cord on it is shorter. It's kind of dangling between me and the computer. But that's all right. It's a good morning. I've got my tea. I've got my camera. We're gonna finish this page. Come hell or high water. Now let's see. I started this page. Oh, when I did this page, it was the second page I was starting a couple days ago. I did one page and then I started this page. I did the first 3 panels. And then yesterday I got all of like 2 lines done before the show burned to the ground. So I just worked in my sketchbook instead. But at that point, it was already like past 10 p.m. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know what I did? I stuck my hand in the wet ink. So I don't want to drag it across the page. Okay. It didn't even leave any ink on my hand. It was just kind of damp. I'm going to turn this mother sideways. Also, I recently figured out how to turn my mic up So let me know if it's insane. So I watched that meltdown broadcast, and it didn't seem obnoxious. I know I'm too soft-spoken for my own good, so. I probably didn't turn it up high enough. Okay, there's that guy. Love you. It's like Thurston Howell. No. Oh, nobody knows what I'm talking about. I just realized how many people don't know who Adam Carolla is. My buddy Bucky in the chat. When I started this page, he was asking about cameos in the comic, like if like there were any cameos or something like that. And I thought he was talking about in the video, because sometimes I'll have my brothers and sisters on the video or something. And I had like a little Adam Carolla puppet sitting on my desk. Hi, I'm Adam Carolla. And, he's from The Man Show. Remember The Man Show on Comedy Central in the 90s? But no. Everyone thinks they love the 90s, but they weren't there because they're baby people. But yeah, the guy was like, I don't know who that is. I've never seen that person before in my life. I was like, what? He's like, how old do you think I am? I was like, dang it. But then I was asking somebody like a few years older than me. I was like, you know who Adam Carolla is, don't you? You remember The Man Show on Comedy Central? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, did I imagine it? Did I Google this image from my own brain? And if you don't know him from The Man Show, there is no way you know what I'm talking about when I do my fake Vermont teddy bear commercials. You have no idea what's going on. It's just pure insanity to you when I do that. Okay, here's where mainstream culture today might recognize him from. So when Norm Macdonald wasn't doing the voice of death on what do you call it? Family Guy. Adam Carolla was doing death on Family Guy. He was also that gross pig on that gross Drawn Together show. on Comedy Central. It was a cartoon about a bunch of cartoons in a, I think it was like a reality show where it brought a bunch of different cartoons from different places, but they were all like raunchy and they're all made up for the show. But yeah, Adam Carolla voiced the pig guy. I didn't watch that very much. But anyway. Then I say things like, then I bring up things like Thurston Howell, and I'm like, no one knows what the heck I'm talking about. Anyone watching this is like 7 years old. They let their YouTube just autoplay the next video. They don't know what's going on. They didn't ask for this. Anyway, I've been meaning to get a haircut for days now. I was gonna go get. So on the 5th, today is the 9th. On the 5th, I was gonna get my haircut before I went to my my mom's early St. Patrick's Day party. But I get there, it wasn't even 6 o'clock yet, the place I go, and the place was closed because they've changed their hours. But I've been going there for 10 years or 15 years or something. Anyway, I didn't go the next day or the next day apparently. And yesterday I was gonna go. I was driving kind of back home. I was gonna stop there first, but I was so tired that I was like, I need to get out of traffic. And I took a caffeine pill so I wouldn't be so tired. But it was like, it was not kicking in, I guess, in time. I was like, I gotta get home. There's no way I'm making it to that place, which was like a whole nother mile or two farther than my mile or two. It was a couple more miles farther than my house. And so I was like, I'm just gonna go home and I'll wait for me to be more energetic, and then I'll go get my hair cut. And what happened? I got home and I laid down on my bed and took like a 3-hour nap. Some caffeine pill. No, I think that's only the second one I've had out of that box. I bought a while ago because I kind of freak myself out. I get real tired behind the wheel sometimes because I keep strange hours. But I get real restless at night, all the time. Since I was a teenager, I get real restless at night, and I'm just up up and at 'em. And then I can't get awake in the morning. No, I can, but that's the problem. Then I get tired when I'm driving around. But so I was like, I'm gonna buy this thing of caffeine pills just in case. And they take like half an hour to kick in. But the first time I took one, it was real helpful. But yeah, yesterday I did not have so much luck. At least I made it home. I could be living underneath the ground. I'll bring this camera in a bit. I do not like this cord. Okay. Just needs like, I don't know, 3 or 4 more inches or something. It'll make itself at home. Is that a thumb? Denton Crux has these joint fingers. If you're new to my Bonehead inking streams, this is not the titular Bonehead. This is just a different skeleton guy. This is one of Bonehead's bosses, Denton Crux. Okay, so here's his arm, elbow, forearm. So after I finish this comic, which I don't know how long that's going to be, after I ink the next 100 pages, I still have to scan all of them in, color them, letter them, etc. But I'm always thinking of what the next stories I'm going to do are. I think I do know what the next one is going to be. I think it's going to be one that I started before this. I did about 50 pages of a story. And then there's this circus story I want to do. There's this robot story I want to do. There's all kinds of things. But I've been cooking up a new thing the past couple nights about a princess. It's a fairy tale. I got it in my head that I really want to do a fairy tale. I've been looking into Pinocchio a lot and Alice in Wonderland, and I kind of know what I want to do with it, but it's going to kind of borrow from the voice of Alice in Wonderland and Pinocchio a lot, I think. I mean, but this story is going to be down the line. Probably not going to see the light of day for some time, but I'm excited about it. Oops. New camera, and I'm already fencing with it. By the way, here's what the bot has to say. Buy followers, primes, and viewers on yourfollows.com. Remove the space. See it there? Anyway, oh dang it. I can't delete it unless I'm in the YouTube chat, which I'm not going to deal with right now. Or block them or whatever. I've never had a coherent bot comment like that before. It's usually just some incomprehensible link. Oh, here's Neinerman running off. He's just broken some bad news to Denton Crux there. Dude, I gotta lift this up a bit. Okay. It was cramping my style. Then we're going to put some drop shadow. I almost feel like this guy's wearing a toupee. I don't know if that's canon. But he's got some dumb hair. Oh, and because he's a devil, maybe it's a hell toupee. Padoonch. Though it might need to be said that I've said it before on this channel. The devils in this book aren't devils. In a way, the skeletons aren't quite skeletons. There's a ghost character who is not exactly a ghost, in that she's not dead. This guy isn't dead. I don't know how to. It's just everybody's something in this world. Just the way it is. And I want to say that they're not dead because the stakes of death apply to them in this story. Oh, I'm off screen. In the afterlife. Oh, how the heck does that song go? I don't even know. It's a song called Hell by the Squirrel Nut Zippers, which, you know, it sounds like a goofy band, but I liked that song so much that one day, and this was already like a couple of years ago, I think, but I was listening to a bunch of their other music, so I haven't heard it since, but I was like, oh, they're a really good band. When are they from? Are they from the... Let me check this out. Squirrel Nut Zippers. I don't think they're from that long ago. Yeah, 90s. 90s. An American swing and jazz band formed in 1993 in Chapel Hill. Are they still going? Yeah. Wow. I gotta look into them. Because they sound so old-fashioned, you know? The band's music is a fusion of Delta blues, gypsy jazz, 1930s swing, or 1930s era swing, klezmer, and other styles. They found commercial success during the swing revival of the late 90s with their 96 single, Hell, written by Tom Maxwell. Yeah, it's good. They're good. Okay. Everybody's sending me messages, but I've got a book to draw. I can read messages when I'm dead. And okay, so about that bot, right? The buy followers comment thing. This guy. There's a reason you don't buy followers, right? Not because that's possibly a scam or whatever, but like, you don't buy followers, right? Because I don't know, maybe somebody sticks around or whatever. I don't know how buying followers works, but they're not an audience, right? It's not an audience. You want, at least I want, for my purposes, I want followers who see the art and go, yeah, that's for me. I want to see more of that. I want to support this guy. I want to, watch him draw. I want to blah, blah, blah. Not followers for the sake of followers, because what good does that do me? It's either like bots you're paying for, or if you just want a number, if you just want a high number of followers, well, go ahead, buy all the followers you can. It's like they're like Pokemon cards. Look, collect them all. Get this one is a bot. This one's a cyber terrorist. This one's no, but it's like it's empty if you're trying to find meaningful followers. Like, I don't know. What good does it do me to buy empty followers that are just following me because they were directed there to do so? I mean, like, if it's actual people who like the art, that's one thing. But what was it? Does it say? A lot of times you'll see stuff like that, and it's like 1,000 followers guaranteed. Only $50, $100 or something. And maybe you get 40 earnest followers out of that or something. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But I do know that that's kind of I don't know, it's just there's no integrity to it. And maybe you're not concerned about integrity in that area. I don't know. But in like the ways you obtain attention, maybe you're not concerned with integrity right there. But it's like I want my art to speak for itself. I want it to be appealing and carry its own weight. Because then, and I'm drawing a terrible image, by the way, as I say this, so forgive me. But I don't like this drawing very much, but I don't know that I would draw him better right now. But I want the art to be able to carry its own weight, and I want it to be able to do its own heavy lifting, because then when it comes time to like sell books, I'll know, or whatever, stickers with like Bonehead's face on it. Here, let me show you Bonehead. I'm always worried that like there's new people watching that don't know what Bonehead looks like. See, this needs better line weight, I think. It looks a little weak in the lines. These are drawings I did before I started inking the comic. That's stronger, even though it's got even line weight throughout the character. It's just a stronger image of him. Okay, so that's Bonehead. That's our title character. Speaking of making line weight pop, you know what? This guy, he's supposed to have, sometimes he has stems to his glasses. Sometimes he doesn't. If he doesn't, it's because I forgot. Oops. Doing it all off screen. Though I wish I didn't add them on in the first place. Okay. So he's running off. But yeah, when it comes to selling books or whatever the goal is with this comic, you know, I want people to see it and go, yeah, that looks like something I want to read, or I want my kids to, like, maybe I'll pick it up for my kids, or maybe a kid will see it and think it looks really cool. But I want the art to speak for itself. And if I don't know, maybe buying followers gets eyes on it better than just I don't know, you can buy ad space too, or you can buy, like, what is it, ads. Now, is buying followers different than buying ads, which I've also never done? It must be, because if they're guaranteeing you followers, there's something seedy about that. That doesn't sound like earnest followers. It's like, I don't want to be talking to the wind. I don't want to be talking to fake people, right? Because if that's the case, it's like, I'm not after a number of followers. I'm after, like, an audience. So that's what I love about like Vucky or Let Me Sleep or What Love or Crimson, is they're here. And I know they're here. Like, I see people in the videos, like on the, like, watching the videos sometimes, that's fine. You don't have to comment or something if you don't want to. But and it's like my roommate or my sister-in-law or my mom can watch all they want, but that's not what I'm after. It's like, I want legitimate a legitimate audience that isn't going to pat me on the back every time I fart into a handkerchief. Fart into a handkerchief. You know what I mean, though? Like, I want to know that I'm doing something right, but by people who just stumbled on it. I want to know that this makes sense to someone other than my mother. Who's going to be in love with me no matter what I do. And like I was starting to say, the thing I like about like Crimson and Bucky, and it's like they choose to come check out what I'm up to unprovoked. And the reason I single them out is because I know that they're people I'm dealing with. They're not bots. They're not empty accounts that just follow and, you know, those things exist. I don't exactly know why. But yeah, it makes what I'm doing feel like it's not falling on deaf ears. It makes me feel like I'm doing something a little more worthwhile with my time. There's something to like there's an actual relationship there. And as much as I like talking to those guys, I would actually be much more content just babbling to myself like this, because I'm not the most in life. I'm not really all that social and gregarious. Is gregarious the word I'm looking for? No, I'm yeah. I'm not all that gregarious. I've always been someone who I just kind of like know words and I don't know why I know them. And then I go to use them and then I'm like, wait, do I actually know that word or do I just think I know that word? And usually I know it, but once in a while I'll be like, ooh, I thought that meant the opposite thing. Or I thought that meant some wild, entirely other thing. So sometimes I just fact check myself. But anyway, I'm saying that I would be content not putting on a show for anyone. In fact, especially like last night when the computer was shaking me off like a rodeo steer. It's like there's a reason I'm doing this ink and brush, this book. It's because I didn't want to be waiting on computers. Because I've made little comics for myself before, like 24-page books and stuff, a 50-page story, where it's like it quickly always turns into me fighting with a computer before long. It quickly before long I'm just making fun of myself. But I didn't want to be doing that, so I wanted to learn how to do ink and brush. Let me push this back. So that's how come the ink and brush. But then I decided to do a show. Why did I decide to make a show out of it? And my rule is, for this book, I don't know if I would do it again. I would continue to stream future book inkings, but I don't think I would be so adamant about getting every panel inked on camera. In fact, I had a show that crapped out, and I think there were 2 or maybe 3 panels that didn't air last week or the week before. But my rule is I broadcast every page being inked, which kind of defeats the not dealing with computers. But that's kind of how I wanted to treat this one. There's, I can get... Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I'm willing to maybe fall a bit behind schedule on this one for the streams, for the sake of them needing to be streamed in my head. But on this project anyway, because it's all self-imposed deadlines, and but on future projects, I'm not gonna want to sit and wait like that. That's why I learned ink and brush. I don't want to sit and wait for a computer. And this might be the last. Well, I don't know. Because I'll probably do some comics digitally. The next one I'm doing, I'm planning on inking digitally. Because I've already done 50 pages of it. That way. But if I do ink and brush for another comic, I don't think I'm going to be so I don't think I'm going to let it hang me up if I can't do it on stream. It would be cool to do some streams where I share my screen and do the digital inking. For which I was using Manga Studio. I was using Manga Studio EX. EX4. Then there was an EX5, and then they rebranded to be Clip Studio Paint. I think they got bought out or something. So I got an illegitimate copy. I bought the EX4 one, But then I wasn't sure if I was going to like 5 when it came out. So I got this illegitimate copy of it. And I didn't like the interface. It wasn't as clear to me how it worked. So I never kind of went back to it. And that said, I know a lot of comics artists use Clip Studio Paint, and to great effect. And I see them using it, and it looks simple enough. I might eventually switch to Clip Studio Paint, but for my purposes, I feel the program I have is working well enough right now. I might change my mind, but I tend to do that. I find something I like and I stick with it until it burns away. Like my camera, or StreamYard, or Winsor Newton Series 7 brushes, Speedball ink, Dell computers. Why Dell? I don't know. It's just what I've always bought. Why do I go to Great Clips? It's just where I've always gone. I just go until the wheels fall off. I go with what I know. Actually, before I was using these brushes, I was just using trashy Hobby Lobby brand. But I knew some artists used these brushes, notably Bill Watterson, who used these for Calvin and Hobbes. I was like, well, if I'm aspiring to be like anybody, I should aspire to be like Bill Watterson. Or Doug TenNapel also uses these. I believe Jake Parker had them listed on his tools, in his tools page on his website. And there was somebody else. I know I've seen a video where Brian Shearer was using them, though I don't think he does a whole lot with ink and brush. But he has at some point. But I was just seeing Winsor Newton Series 7 Kolinsky Sable brushes over and over. And it was mostly Bill Watterson and Doug TenNapel using them that made me go for it. But the brand recognition, just seeing it all over the place, kept popping up. I was like, yeah, okay, that's what I'm going to learn to use. But yeah, before that, I was using just trashy Hobby Lobby brand brushes, where you get like 12 packs or a 12 pack for $5 or something. And then I was using those, but then when I got to the book, I was like, I wanted to step it up a notch, so I went with the Winsor Newton, and it was just immediately it was way easier to move the ink across the page. It was like a burden I didn't know was there was suddenly lifted. And then when I switched from Hobby Lobby brand ink to Speedball ink, now with the Hobby Lobby brand, I'll say the big black spots are thinner with this ink. It's like almost waterier when you put it down on the page with the Speedball, but it moves so much better than the Hobby Lobby brand. So it's like, as I go on, I kind of like find out more and more what I like, and I just stick with it until something better comes along. That's my way. It's almost 11 o'clock. So let's see, he's got this like, I'm gonna clear this up. Actually, first let me do his little coattails down here. Okay. It's gonna be a little while, but I gotta get a art supply. I do like an art supply run. One thing I like about this ink, or even the Hobby Lobby brand, for that matter, you don't really have to wait too long before it's dry on the page. You can usually erase like dang near right away. I just need a little clarity here. Now, erasing does kind of fade the line work a little tiny bit, but not troublesomely so. Like when I scan this page in, and I mess with the what do you call it, the levels and the thresholding or whatever, it'll do exactly what I need it to. It'll bring the right parts to black and the right parts to white. That's the main thing. That'll do. Okay. Okay. So here's his. It's under his chin, the back of his chin. Okay. As I was drawing last night, I needed something to watch, and I've kind of been going back and forth between, like, when I just need to put something on. Lately, I've been going back and forth between Always Sunny, Scrubs, and The Wonder Years. I just started watching The Wonder Years, which is really good. But last night I was like, I'm not feeling any of those right now. Domini Church. Another bot. but Domini Church. That's why I have that song stuck in my head. What is it? Latin thing that they sing at church. Anyway, but yeah, I wasn't feeling any of those last night when I was working in my sketchbook. So I was like, what else can I watch? What else can I watch? And I was like, oh yeah, there's new episodes of that Ozark show, which I really like, and on Netflix. And then, so I put that on for like 5 minutes, but I was like, I can't give this my attention right now. I can't. Like, that's gonna need me to pay attention to it. So I turned that off within like the first 3 minutes or something. And then what did I put on? What did I put on? New Girl. I really like that one. But it's like I didn't have to give it my attention because I've seen it all. It's like I used to just watch TV shows all the time. And I used to think of it as like, well, I'm learning how to tell stories by watching TV shows. Well, I think it was more gluttonous than that in retrospect. But it does help if I need like some background noise and to just put stuff on now. But it helps if it's something I've seen a billion times before and don't have to think about. I can just put it on in the background. But now, because now I don't watch nearly as much new stuff. It's like there is business at hand. I don't got time for it. Which I am grateful that. Now this doesn't make sense, does it? Maybe it does. Maybe it does. This is a weird shaped table. But yeah, if you're looking for a sitcom to watch, a good funny sitcom, I think The New Girl was it was a pleasant surprise when I first found it years ago. I didn't think I was gonna like it, and I ended up really liking it a lot. And like one of the main characters, the guy who plays Schmidt. I was like, when I first started that show, I was like, this is gonna be annoying. This guy is gonna be annoying, and he ended up being one of my favorite takeaways from the show. Like he is just so funny. And then there's so many times in the show where it's like he trips over his lines or something. It's like something that would normally be an outtake, but he does it so funny that they leave it in or something. I don't know. I think it's hilarious. Max Greenberg or something like that, I think his name is. And the pilot, I was reminded, has one of the Wayans brothers' kids in it. I believe it's Damon Wayans Jr. He's in the pilot, then he's not in the show for a while, but then he comes back. Which I love, that they didn't just write him off the show when he couldn't come back to the series originally. And that he came back when he was able to, you know. Because they essentially recast him for episode 2. They wrote him out of the show. But then I think it's like season 3, he was able to come back, and they brought him back. And it's like they didn't replace the guy that replaced him. They were just both people on the show. I always thought that was like a nice kind of like realistic sort of unintentional like it's something they didn't originally plan for, you know, but it kind of added this like realism to the world of the show, I guess. And who needs a sitcom to be so dang real? But I liked it. So there. Here's Bonehead's other boss, Mr. Shivers, who wears a smiley face mask. So morale doesn't plummet from his bad attitude. Kind of helps trick his employees into thinking he's a nice guy sometimes, I guess. It was the idea when I made him up. In this book, they run through like 4 or 5 different reasons they think he wears the mask. You know, like you realize like everybody has a different theory. Then eventually you find out the real reason. Oh. There we go. Oh, I think he's got some. So Neiderman here. He's supposed to deliver some bad news to Denton Crux, the owner of the poison factory. and he's all nervous about it. And he says, "Oh, don't be silly. Just like he's not listening. He's just like, just go get Horace for me. Probably shouldn't have said, go get Mr. Shivers for me." And then, it's like, "Right away, sir." And he's like, "Horace, what's going on here?" He's like, well. And he's delivering the bad news. And the next page, it's like an exterior shot of the building, and you just hear, "What?" Oh, yeah. I tend not to read the script. I don't usually look at the script when I'm going over what the dialogue is on this page, because I tend to give away a lot of what's going on as I'm inking this live. And it probably helps me spoil less if I don't know the dialogue. But I do know the gist of what's going on. There will be some pages that I really need to like review the dialogue on, though. I think I have to do that every once in a while to make sure I'm doing the right expression needed. Maybe I misrepresented something in the pencils or something. So this is like the factory manager. And the other guy is the owner of the company. Okay. Smile. You're on candid camera. Here's his big open mouth. Okay. Put some hair coming through here. Okay. We're making the bad guys. Spoiler alert, but the corporate bosses are the bad guys. So when Your when Pop-Tart starts preaching to you, you can be sure that it's just pandering and not because they believe in anything. Sorry. I don't like when corporations start making moral statements to me. It's kind of reprehensible. And right now, every corporation is telling you that they stand for racial equality and they support women and this and that. And get your vaccine. It's like, shut up, all of you. It's all pandering. That's my biggest problem with it. I can't stand just about any ad right now. Like Hershey bars, they have the she highlighted on the package for International Women's Day, which was yesterday, I guess. It's all, well, I gotta support them because they're big supporters of women, and I don't want people thinking I don't like women. I'm a good person, not a bad person. I buy Hershey bars, see? Okay, that's the page. We finally finished it. Unfortunately, I don't have time to start the next page, but I'll show you the next page. It's a oneer splash page of the Poison Factory. Boom. So, how are we liking the new camera? Well, it came loose when I turned it, just like the old one, so it's making itself at home. I gotta figure out what to do with the cord, because that's driving me crazy. But it'll fit in. It'll fit right in on this show. All right. So I'll be back tomorrow to do a page probably around the same time. Hopefully that's the idea. And then the day after, I think it is, I think I'm going to try and catch up and get a couple pages done. That's always, like on my day off, that's always the goal, to try and squeeze 2 pages in, but it almost never works out. It's weird. Something always comes up on my days off. Anyway, I'll be back. See you next time. This has been Ink the Book Show. I'm Ryan O'Connor. Bye, everybody.